happy Monday. We are starting the week and Jose's already at work. He goes to work at 6 in the morning and he works from Monday through Friday. I work from Mondays through Thursdays. I now have Fridays off and work Saturdays. This is just temporary though, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited it's just temporary, but I wanted to share with you guys what we eat during the week, during the weekday, during the work day, just our everyday kind of meal prep. I don't know how much I'm gonna record. I don't know if I'm gonna be recording every single meal of every single day, or if I catch a lunch from one day, a breakfast from one day, and a dinner from one day, or a snack, because since it's during the week, we're very busy. So yeah, and we also eat very similar every day. If we change a couple things, it's really just small changes, like either a breakfast meal or like an item in the breakfast meal, but we don't really change like our core dinners and our core. We have like our type 5 choices or like our type 3 choices of every meal, and we stick to those because those are the ones that either give us results or make us feel really good or satisfy us or are easy. Like there's a lot of reasons why we choose those meals that we choose, and I think we finally figured out how to eat after so long. We figured out what meals work best for us, what feels good for our body, what helps us work out the best, so we like to stick to those meals. So right now I'm actually just making protein coffee because I don't have time to make breakfast since it's already time to go into work. So I make a quick coffee, and during my first break I do my breakfast. So that's around maybe 10 in the morning. It's not a purposeful fast, and this is not something I always intentionally do. Sometimes I wake up earlier and have time to make breakfast. It's just one of those days where I don't have time to make breakfast, so this is what I'm doing in the meantime, just so that I can start my metabolism, also have something in my body, because 2 hours of having nothing in my stomach, I'm gonna feel it. And I really enjoy this little mixture over like having coffee creamer. But have your coffee however you like, however you want. I personally just like having like an opportunity for protein. I'm not crazy where I count every single macro or micro or anything like that, but for me personally, I do a lot of like calories in and calories out type of perspective, and it has worked for me. And that's kind of the model that I'm going to be sharing with you guys here. Is it's not about being organic or not being highly processed or artificial sweeteners or all this shit that you see on Instagram, TikTok, and social media. I am gonna be sharing with you a different perspective, hopefully, that like you can still get results, have a good high value meal, and enjoy yourself and not feel guilty. And I know that's really hard, and I'm going on a ramble, and I am ranting because that's just what I do. I love to talk, and I want to be able to share everything I learned and all my experiences, but then I get carried away. Those are for some other times. Let me just go ahead and make some coffee now before I go on another rant. So honestly, I am covering myself because I am in my PJs, but my PJs have holes and I need to let go of them, but they're so comfortable and soft that I just choose to wear them because no one sees me. But now I'm sharing a YouTube video and I have holes all over my pajamas. So I have this frother. It's actually from Nespresso, and this is what I use to make my coffee foamy. I actually use the McCafe, the coffee maker, the American coffee maker that you buy at Walmart for like $10, and I make a portion for the whole week basically. I just put it in my thermal and I save it in there, and then every time I'm just gonna pour some coffee. The coffee is already made, because since I'm the only one that drinks coffee in the morning, the coffee's gonna run out, and at one point I was throwing away the leftover coffee because I didn't think of actually saving the coffee. So yeah, you just learn as you go, and that was one of the things I learned, is save your freaking coffee. Why throw it away? There is 2 lines in this frother. I'm just gonna add about here. I can't really describe how much that is, but I just look at the line. Now, The first button, let me show you guys here. The first button, if you click on it once, it's red. If you hold on it, it's blue, which means cold. So it froths it with the cold water instead of frothing it and making it hot. So we want it to be cold because we're making iced coffee. We are gonna take a little cup. Now, this original top went with something else and it broke because I put like cold water and like it completely cracked because I guess it just wasn't strong enough. So I remember I have these cups and these cups kind of fit. So we're gonna work with that. So I am going to pour this in here. So the froth is all stuck in there. So I'm just gonna add a little spoon. And shake this up. This doesn't really froth that well, so that's why I'm not even gonna bother frothing it. You see it melting. So pretty. It actually tastes like coffee today, so I'm gonna leave it like that because I kind of like the strong flavor. But as you saw, I literally did a drizzle, which if you're gonna do drizzle, you might as well do whatever creamer you want to do, but I want to go for this one. This is the one I like, and it's $3. And you know what, creamers are expensive. They bring more, but they're expensive. So convenient. You can also buy like the protein bottle and make your own, but I think I like better container proteins. And this one is vanilla caramel coffee, kind of like caramel, I don't know, macchiato, caramel iced coffee, whatever. This does not taste super sweet. It does have a protein a protein flavor. So if you're not into protein flavors, maybe don't get this. Maybe try something else. There's also what's called nut pods or something like that. They're like this container, but they're like a healthier creamer. Tried them not that long ago. It was like a 3-ingredient one. I didn't really like it too much. So this one is the one that really tasted good for me. I've been having it for a couple weeks now and I've really enjoyed it. So this is the one I would recommend trying. It's plant-based, which is nice too. They also have brands that are not plant-based from this. This is Lean Body Caramel Vanilla Caramel. And it's vegan, 30 grams of protein. You can also have the whole thing if you wanted, but it is 280 calories. So keep in mind, this is like almost a breakfast amount of calories. Like, not even, because my breakfast is typically about 400-500 calories. But this is like 280 calories. So I think, in my opinion, it's a pretty high calorie coffee protein shake. So I would definitely, like, if you were just drinking just the protein alone, I would go for a lower calorie. But also this has 30 grams of protein. So do what works best for you. I'll go work and drink my coffee, and I'll see you guys for breakfast. So it's breakfast time, and I'm just gonna make a quick little breakfast. By the way, I exaggerated when I said 500 calories for breakfast. It's typically around like 350-400. There was a point where I was counting calories, but I have a really fast-paced life, and if I sit there and count every single calorie and every single gram, I'm gonna drive myself crazy, especially that I usually eat about the same amount of portions. So I kind of started getting used to counting, and then after I kind of got familiar with the portion sizes, I stopped counting because I already knew kind of how many calories were in my meal, and that has also worked, and I've been able to maintain. So I know that I'm not overeating. I'm just not counting calories like calorie by calorie or tracking it because it takes too long for me. But I do recommend, like, if you are trying to kind of get familiarized with how many calories are in your meal, you can do that in the beginning, and then afterwards you kind of get used to your foods and know exactly how many calories are in your meal. So you can do it in the beginning and introduce it just so you can have an idea. So we have green peppers, red peppers, garlic, a little bit of chopped onions that I already have chopped. This really helps. Having chopped vegetables helps so much because it takes time off of having to prep food. And I cook all my meals, which is not so smart. You want to have meals already made so that, like, you don't fail yourself, because not having food prepped, you know, gets you lazy, and it gives you more reasons not to prep or not to eat healthy because you don't have food on deck. But I know for me, I'm used to it and I enjoy cooking my meals. I recommend at least that you chop your vegetables. If you don't want to cook your food because it takes too long, chop your vegetables first. So I'm making a quick lunch now for work, and I'm prepping some taco seasoned picadillo, and I'm also gonna make these into meatballs. So big tube of turkey, I cut it in half, and I'm doing half the portion into meatballs and half the portion into taco seasoning. I blended a bunch of peppers and onions in here with garlic. I'm gonna add this to both picadillos. Gonna season this into like a burger flavor, gonna season this into like a taco flavor. And then this is my lunch, which is actually some mushrooms, first asparagus, a little bit of coconut oil and garlic. And I am going to make this into little spirals, and I'm gonna make like a little sweet chili noodle thing with that. Alrighty guys, so this is the end result, and it literally took 30 minutes exactly because I was able to do this all during my break. So we have about 8 meatballs here. We have tacos. Ow, it just got burned. We got taco seasoned picadillo. And then this is my lunch for now. It's tofu, spinach, mushrooms, peppers. So this is typically what we eat. This is usually what I have for lunch on my weekdays because it just makes me feel good. He's having this. He hadn't had this in a while, but this is what I guess he asked me to. This is what Jose asked me for this week to prep for him. So always happy to prep him stuff so that his life is easier because he does help me a lot in the kitchen. And you know, he does a lot of bodybuilding and eating, so he knows and understands that if he wants a lot of food, he's gonna help me. He's gonna have to help me cook a little. Plus, he also finds it very rewarding. Like, he really enjoys cooking his meals because he gets to control his portion and he gets to control what he puts in it. And I'm kind of more like, oh, you know, red meat. I'm a little bit pickier with him eating red meat and stuff, so he feels more in control when he gets to do it. But he asked me for the favor. And then some meatballs. So this is lunch, and I'm gonna put the rest of the avocado in here, and we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for the next meal. So I eat about half a day. I was looking at my old videos, and I used to eat a whole avocado to the face. I don't know how I was doing that, because for me, I feel like half of an avocado is like enough. But we're constantly changing, I guess, and that's one of the things that has changed. Now, I typically have this with two little thin crisps. They're like these fiber chips that I buy at Publix that are like rectangles, but Jose ate them all, so I don't have that. So I am missing a little crunch factor because I love like a crunch, but this will do for today. Also, I freaking love this flavor, but honestly, all the flavors are amazing. Like, I'm a big sparkling water person because I really enjoy how it makes me feel. Like, I really enjoy the fact that it gives me that extra fullness. So I love this brand, this specific flavor. You can find at Walmart, but there's also bubbly, the cherry bubbly. Oh my gosh, I love it. It tastes like a Dr. Pepper. Also, by the way, quick reference, breakfast was at 10, and well, coffee was at 8, breakfast was at 10, and lunch is at 2:53. So just so that you guys know how much I'm spacing out the meals, it's typically around that time every single day because I take my break. We came to Walmart because we needed eggs. Share with you guys, this brand right here is the best. They also have Carolina Gold, Polynesian. This is one of our go-to, sweet and spicy. It's delicious, but they have a bunch of different flavors. They even have the famous Cluckin', all these sauces here. Ooh. And they have ketchup. Where's the ketchup? I've never seen this one. That's new. Sweet. Oh, a secret sauce. That's probably like a Big Mac sauce. Yeah. Damn. And then look, they have these. Guys, these are so amazing. 5 calories. Damn, I got one of these because yesterday I mixed it with protein powder and it was so good. I mixed this with protein powder, walnuts, chocolate chips. It was so good. I made it in a bowl instead of the clusters because honestly I was just lazy, and it was so good, so I had to grab another one of these. Chicken soup? What are you doing?
My game's in. If you go to Publix, you know about this cookie.
That's all you gotta say.
Only if you go to Publix.
So, fun fact, Jose doesn't like greens. He only likes lettuce. He doesn't like spinach. He doesn't like asparagus. He doesn't like broccoli. But he does like green beans, corn.
There you go.
You know, that boring mixture.
There you go.
But
What else?
I explained to him that it does have baby lettuce. So what I have to do for the baby, for the child, is pick out the lettuce pieces. Like these. For his burger.
Don't put the finish, the purple one.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not allowed to put these. Am I allowed to put this one?
That won't be passed.
Oh, class. I'm gonna have it with a side of sweet and spicy sauce, maybe a little bit of sweet chili as well. I like to mix both. And then he is having the spicy soup. This is a really this is like a stomachache waiting to happen. Cool Ranch popcorn, spicy sauce, and 2 burgers. I mean, spicy sauce, spicy soup.
With protein in it.
Yes, with protein in it.
And 2 little burgers. You gotta make it fun, guys. You gotta make it fun.
Okay, so last thing is a dessert. I like to have a treat every single night. I like to treat myself. If I'm not craving it, I won't have it. But typically, I'm craving it. So today is going to be a nice little dessert that I had yesterday that was absolutely delicious. I'm gonna make sure it's dried. Gonna get the yogurt. This one actually has 6 grams of yogurt. I mean, 6 grams of yogurt. 6 grams of protein. I'm not gonna do a full spoon. I'm gonna do like about half a spoon. And then we're gonna do a little bit of PB Fit. Here's a trick. Open a little hole and just sprinkle instead of having to use it. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend. This is the consistency I had yesterday and it was pretty good. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. I don't want it to be in the freezer because I don't want it to be like frozen yogurt or like ice cream. I like it for it to be creamy. Go ahead and just top it with all of the chocolate chips that fell because honestly that's like the perfect serving. A couple pieces of walnut. So we have yogurt, protein, chocolate chips, chia seeds, and walnuts for dessert. Oh, and side note, when you're eating a dessert, especially ice cream or like any of these puddings, small spoon. They actually have small spoon in Amazon, like the ice cream spoons, but this in specific came with a little bowl. But try not to go on a rant because I do get carried away. But I do want to share with you guys the reason why I eat 3 times a day and the reason why I make sure I don't skip meals is because I've come to the realization that I do binge if I don't eat enough meals throughout the day. So even if I'm not super hungry or if I don't have a huge appetite, if I know I haven't eaten for a while, and let's say it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't had breakfast, I really make sure that I try my best to have breakfast or have lunch so that I don't get to the point where I'm anxious, hangry, moody, or want to eat everything on sight. So I try to keep a really good balance and try my very best to eat frequently. I don't really look at the time that I eat or anything like that. I just make sure I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and if I want to have a treat, I have the treat. If I want to have a snack throughout the day, say for example a smoothie or a rice cake or something like that, I will have it as well. Today I didn't really have a snack. I feel really good. I feel like the food that I did eat had a lot of fuel, but I'm just letting you guys know as to why I think personally I like to eat frequently and I like to eat meals, and I'm not ashamed of eating because I know this part of my life has taken me very far. Coming to the realization I'm not feeling guilty after every single meal is real. It's something that I did go through for a long time. Every single time I would eat food, I would feel extremely guilty, whether that was healthy or not healthy. I had no understanding as to calories, no understanding as to why I was portionizing, no understanding as to any type of really eating. This is the year I kind of figured out what works for me, and I'm so grateful because now I have a whole lifetime of being able to continue to grow, and also just being able to eat this way that feels so good for my body. It feels so good to eat frequent. It feels so good to eat the foods that I'm eating. It's very satisfying. I'm really, really happy. I'm not the skinniest that I've been, but I am the healthiest physically and mentally. And I feel like that in itself is, honestly, that's the biggest blessing out of all of this, is the fact that I'm able to now feel my body and feel good doing it. That being said, closing out the video here, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time to click on the video, and I hope that this brings some type of value, and I hope you learned something today. I hope you learned that it's not that difficult. I know I cooked every single meal. You don't have to cook every single meal. You can definitely meal prep. This is because I am privileged enough to work from home that I can make my meals on the spot, but I know not every one of us has the opportunity to work from home and to cook meals on site. So if that's your problem, if that's your issue, definitely work on a good, healthy meal prep, something that's realistic, something that maybe you can have like a good base to work off of. I'm getting carried away because that's just what I do. I love to rant. I'm very passionate about this. I'm extremely passionate about it. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. You good? Did you just work out?
And I'm gonna tell you guys one thing: is to never have spicy ass soup with dinner.